Welcome back to Steam-Powered Scoundrels, a Malifaux podcast. Episode 77. Boo! No, it bugs me because it's not, centered around the video feeds. It's centered on the screen, so it's,
True. That is annoying.
Above my head and below your head on my screen. Hi, welcome back to Steam-Powered Scoundrels. I am, today, at least, your host, Douglas Scoundrels. And I didn't say the other thing.
Good job.
Good for me. I need some applause for that. Because I have low self-esteem. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. We're doing another rewrite for a show format I still haven't named because I don't care to, I guess. In my old age, I've decided I no longer need, a fifth format.
This can just be Steam-Powered Scoundrels.
Yeah.
This can just be a thing we do on normal Steam-Powered Scoundrels. We don't need a special name.
I don't know. It sounds like we might need a rewrite.
I'll kiss you.
Do it, coward.
On camera.
You're in my basement now.
I know.
Do it, and then we'll say if you sign up for the Patreon, you get
the video.
You get the smooch cam.
The smooch cam.
We'll make it a GIF.
Okay, so
I mean, to be fair about the Steam-Powered Scoundrels, we haven't had a running thing on the main format for a while, so having this be just regular old Steam-Powered Scoundrels is probably good.
Also, I approve of not having a running thing just because I hate cardio.
God damn it. I knew I shouldn't have come on this episode.
Oh, also, if you just want to run and get French fries, Victoria, we'll just get you caught up when you get back.
No.
You can if you really want.
Just introduce her so she can leave and go get French fries.
Exactly. All right, let's do introductions. We got 3 regular people besides me and our super special guest, so we'll save the super special guest for last. First up, let's go with French fry lady, Victoria. Hi. Why are you here?
I'm also apparently your toxic ex-girlfriend tonight.
Not mine. His.
Everybody's.
Everyone's toxic.
Everyone's toxic ex-girlfriend, comrade.
Hell yeah. Our common toxic ex-girlfriend.
Our 2 other regular voices, fresh off a tournament and filled with pineapple chicken.
Yeah.
Roman and Nate sharing a lap and a camera. Who is this third party that they're seated in the lap of? We will never tell.
Yep, that's us. We're here as usual.
And a faction that we played.
It's true. We did share a Bayou brain cell today.
Scoundrels Bayou supremacy.
I feel like I got to pick up one of the Bayou keywords that y'all don't play, so that could be my
join us, Doug.
Little nook of what options do I have? I feel like Ken isn't played from you guys.
I play a little bit, but yeah, Ken's pretty open.
Technically, he plays all of them.
I do play all of them a little bit.
You've got favorites, though.
I do have favorites.
Right,
that is
getting
true.
sidetracked. Okay, man of the hour, the person that is going to most enjoy all these little changes to. I guess I should have said that we're changing the Redchapel keyword. Hi, I'm doing my thing and deciding that I like designing, so I've fiddled with a Redchapel keyword to make it better. Right,
At least
anyways,
different.
Hi, Josh. Introduce yourself.
My name is Josh. I also go by Icky Pumpkin, or Ichabod Payne if you are into roller derby or circus acts.
That's
Well,
amazing, and I love it.
That explains the mustache.
You're already more interesting than me. I love it.
Collectively more interesting than all of us.
Mm-hmm.
I take exception to that.
Fair enough. Valid.
Okay,
Shouldn't
Josh.
speak for all of us.
What's your infatuation with our man of the hour, our keyword of the hour? Real honestly.
So I've been playing Rezzers for about 10 years, bounced around mostly around McMorning and Seamus. And something's just outstanding about the most famous killer in Malifaux, popping out, scaring people, blasting him in the head before he disappears into the night. And so that's kind of, why I like... One second.
Forgot what you were going to say. What
Say
I
it.
asked. Sorry.
It was why do you love Seamus the most? And it's pretty much just that he's the most famous killer in Malifaux. He has a bunch of just popping out of nowhere, spooking people, jumping back into the night, and that's just kind of his whole vibe. And everyone needs some kind of boogeyman, like some kind of killer, the bad guy to hate, and Seamus is definitely that.
Seamus is our sort of our comic relief evil guy. Is the best way I can put it. Like, he's not funny, but he is the closest thing we get to like a cartoonish villain in Malifaux.
He's a good juxtaposition to like the guild's like just war crimes evil.
Or Levi, just the existence of Levi. And Levi. Someday we'll fix him, maybe. We'll get to that.
Not to be confused with the delightful murder caused by the Midnight Stalker.
Yes.
Who is truly an artist.
We love him.
The fact that he's in a unspoken competition with Seamus is great.
Yes.
It's definitely one-sided, right?
Oh,
for sure, yeah.
I don't think Seamus even knows that he exists.
I think he...
Who are you?
I think he knows him as much as, like, isn't the blurb for the Dead Dandies that the Midnight Stalker, like, killed some rich people, and Seamus is like, hey, I'm gonna do that.
Oh, neat.
I should do that too.
Yeah. So, yeah, he killed a bunch of rich people, so he's not all bad. Right, okay,
Hey,
so...
Seamus.
Let me actually go through our... we did introductions. Why am I/we doing this? Seamus on the table has got some issues. Whereas previous changes with Tony and with Parker's, I feel like everyone acknowledges that they're a bit under the curve, I think. I still think that's the case. Whereas Seamus is, in some cases, a huge negative play experience, and in other cases, a huge negative play experience for the pilot of Seamus. He's either a huge problem or no problem at all, really depending on how well you can counter him, and that's not fun. So we're going to try and make him fun, and we're also probably going to make some changes to... We are going to make some changes to his entire keyword to make them more palatable, because I think the consensus is a lot of times it's Seamus and Super Friends, with a few exceptions. Let's not do Super Friends, guys. Let's make him the Redchapel squad. It's featuring Seamus, but they're family. Not the family keyword, but they're a family of dead people, except for Seamus and the copycat killer. And the strange lady.
Redchapel, you cowards. Family.
Okay.
Now I really want to see Vin Diesel do an Irish accent. Thanks.
I feel like he would be really bad.
Absolutely. That's why.
But, like,
that's
hilariously so. Yeah.
Yes.
Sammy for Redchapel.
Okay. So, couple design goals that I decide to lean into. Number one, enemy positional fuckery. That is kind of just about every keyword. Every model in the keyword has some sort of positional fuckery on them. It's just not a feature. It's just like something they can kind of do. And I wanted that to be more of the highlight than the gun and the knife, flower knives, bouquet of knives, whatever the fuck that's called.
Bladed bouquet.
Yeah, that. Anyways, also scheming. The last time I asked, there wasn't really like a huge schemer in Rezzers. And so
Seamus,
we're adding
Seamus himself.
Yeah, we're not.
Ollie's probably one of the better ones in faction, just because.
Yeah, I was gonna say Krilligans.
Krilligan nodes.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's no real like keyword dedicated to scheming,
Yeah.
realistically speaking. Not that I can think of.
Jan can probably do a decent job of it, but again, he's just kind of a good.
And you have Manos.
Exactly.
McMorning kind of gets there.
A bit.
Yeah, they all have ways of like getting there, but none of them are efficiently like super scheming.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Actions.
It's not their main theme.
Yep. Hopefully that can be more closer to a main theme for this, guys. Okay. Before we get into the actual changes, rules, disclaimer, this is for fun. We are not suggesting that Weird has done anything wrong with their models or that there's anything wrong with the devs. We just see what colloquially we think is underpowered stuff or stuff that needs changed, and we're just having fun with our little dev hats, making changes and feeling smart and clever. Balance is a secondary consideration. I do have, in this case, again, Roman to bounce things off of to keep some of the worst stuff reined in. But right now I was just looking for identity, fun, and buffs, and then trying to make not everything a huge pain in the ass. But obviously, if this were to actually happen, we would need some playtesting.
What are you talking about? We've done hundreds of hours of playtesting in our heads.
I haven't.
Oh, wow, shit.
Who's we?
The single brain cell that we both share.
It is that sounds interesting, write it down and then forget it. That is how Doug brain work. One last thing added to the rules disclaimer. Yes, we tend to point out how complicated the game is getting, but I'm suspending that to make this more fun. I counted, and there are 15 additional abilities, actions, or triggers I've added to this keyword.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Damn.
Well, some of them are just like modifications of an existing one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fair enough.
In some cases, something like it probably exists elsewhere. I just wanted to make that particular joke, so it's a custom name. Weird does that on occasion. Okay, how are we going to do this? I've got a list of models here, including some mystery ones, and because we have our lovely special guest here, Josh gets to pick how we reveal these changes. He could go straight down from the highest costed, starting at Seamus's, and go down, or just pick randomly, what have you. However, I will say there is one thing we need to introduce before we get into that decision. Sorry to keep interrupting you, Josh. I'm sorry.
No problem.
We have a keyword upgrade. Yay!
Nice.
Yay. Okay.
Yay. Good start.
That's because I'm not adding an ability to every single one of these characters' models. It's inefficient. All right. The keyword upgrade. Let me find my actual notes. We're calling this the Boogeyman of Redchapel. Redchapel models in this crew gain the following ability. Fear Response. When an enemy model fails a willpower duel caused by this model, it gains a fear token, to a maximum of 3. When an enemy model targets this model with an action, this model may remove a fear token from the attacking model to have it suffer a negative to the duel.
Okay.
Now, Seamus already has a bit of distracted as a defensive mechanism in the keyword, so this suddenly becomes a case of double stacking negatives in some instances to save your stuff. So instead of making stuff hardier, we're just giving this to everyone, so everyone has a little bit of extra defense in there. But yeah, distracted only goes so far as a defensive mechanism because there's several ways around it.
Of note, I think of the things that would need playtesting to know for sure how they're going to work, this is probably top of the list.
Yeah.
I still think it's a good idea and I like it, but like anybody who's played Dreamer knows, you can have all the willpower duels in existence, and the time you need your opponent to fail one so your summoned thing can actually come out, it just doesn't. Versus there are other games where it's like, I made every willpower duel, and they couldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's whenever I think having it topped at 3 is going to keep this from getting potentially ridiculous. But this, just to put that out there, I think this is the thing that would need the best to really dial in. But I think this is a good start.
I suppose the real question would be does the token get put on the upgrade or the model? Because if it gets put on the upgrade and it's capped at 3, then it probably is fine.
It'd be put on the enemy model, Brilliance.
Yeah, so each model can have up to 3. But it's the Redchapel model that decides, am I needing you to discard it to get you at a negative? So if they're at 3, it kind of behooves you to do that so you can continue to get more. But it might not.
But there is that play in there of, if they're on 1, do I need this model to not get hit, or do I need to save for someone else? There's a minigame in there. I like minigames. They're great. Okay. Now, Josh, go ahead and pick. Which model do we discuss the changes for first?
So let's go with the one that is going to appear in the most amount of Seamus lists, the Copycat Killer.
Oh, that is...
Go for the totem.
That
will appear in all of the lists, actually. Turns out.
You could just not bring him.
You could not bring it.
You could, but why would you?
I think more people should do that. Just don't bring it.
Okay. So... Copycat Killer. First up, stat line change. He is now going to be a reflection of Seamus 1, defense 7, willpower 4.
It's easy to get the two confused.
Yes, exactly. We are more... The idea here is now to make him I am Seamus, but I am also not Seamus. bullshit. Right now, he's just kind of a guy that can maybe kill something, but will probably die. So to that, we're removing Terrifying and giving him Hard to Kill. And then we are also giving him the ability. This is one's for Nate. It is called But It Was Me.
What's that a reference to, Douglas?
What could that possibly be a reference to?
No idea.
Is this a motherfucking JoJo's reference?
Yes.
How dare you suggest that I would reference JoJo's on this show? We never do that. Okay,
We've never done that. Not
But
once.
It Was Me is effectively a one-way Black Mirror. When a friendly Seamus gains a condition, this model may choose to gain the condition instead.
Ooh.
Seamus fucking needs triggers to do anything, especially this version of Seamus 1. So now we're giving him at least a singular cop-out of stunned. But also other things that can affect him. But it really is just I want to give him some stunned protection without just giving him seen it all, which is...
It was me. I was on fire.
Exactly, right? It's perfect.
that.
It's perfect. Okay. Going over to the other side of its card, Shears is gaining Draw Out Secrets.
Oh.
It's getting started with the scheming shit. Yep.
Especially since he's insignificant.
Uh-huh.
Last thing. Here we go. Mistaken Identity is now stat 4 with a target number 10, which is, you would think, a downgrade, but guess what? Something I do a lot on this is some things don't have a stat, and you need a stat so that you can have triggers. Exactly. Nate's following along. Okay. 2 triggers, in fact. First up, masks. Now there's 2 of them. Target friendly Seamus is not placed by this action.
Oh.
Oh.
Dig that.
That is just a straight up, we're going to teleport the copycat killer to Seamus.
Oh.
Yep. Because
Okay.
I feel like a lot of times you can't do that because you really fucking don't want Seamus where the copycat killer is, and now you need to pay the trigger for it, but you can fuck off out of dodge if you really need to with the copycat killer. And the reason that you're not going to be doing this a lot is because of our tone trigger, Grand Entrance.
Ooh.
Target-friendly Seamus may take a tactical action that does not list a model by name where the stat becomes the stat of this action.
Love that. I absolutely love that for Seamus 2.
Mhm.
The Copycat Killer does not have a great way to interact with Seamus 2, and that is perfect.
And what does that do for Seamus 2?
So it frees up the 1 AP that you're using normally for the Urban Legend to get that aura online, and it also allows you to do that out of activation, which is it frees up the ability for Seamus to just go all in on whatever he wants to be doing instead of burning 1 AP and feeling like your master just has a built-in slow.
And for Seamus 1, it gives him a free back alley, or what is... I always call it back alley.
Then
Hidden
he can
passage.
swap and then back. Oh.
It's called
that's even,
Secret Pass.
Ooh, my
Secret
god.
passage, thank you.
that's
Thank
even
you,
spicier.
That's pretty good.
It is a stat 4.
Now, I don't
Secret
know
passage,
Seamus well enough, Josh, for how impactful is it doing Urban Legend but not being able to trigger? Be an action off of a trigger. Mine
That's
without the Alone Art trigger.
that is the balancing cost of this. Also, in
You
this
get it,
case,
but you're not getting that extra benefit. And you can
Also,
always do it again, I guess, when you activate.
Yeah, I think that it gives you the option. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to take it, and I mean,
Right.
options are good.
okay, that is the changes to the copycat killer. I think he is actually a decent totem that interacts with his at least master now.
Both versions of it.
Certainly a problem with some titles.
Yeah.
Where Totem was designed very specifically for how the original new version does not work with that at all.
I will fully admit I had to remind myself there's a second Seamus at times because everyone sees Seamus as the first version.
Honestly, that's kind of
mean,
fitting for the title.
Very
of Seamus.
iconic, so.
Yeah.
It means his disguise worked.
Yeah. All right, Josh, who are we doing next?
I would love to hear what's going on with Seamus 2, aka Sebastian Baker.
Okay, the Seamus with fewer changes. Now, there's always a possibility I might have nerfed him a bit too much, but also remember we have the stuff he can do with Copycat Killer now as well. Excuse me. So this is changed on him and Seamus 1, and this is to curb possible negative play experiences for the opponent. Why Hello Love is now a non-gun action, but it is once per activation. Activation. Which means Seamus 2 can do Take by the Hand, and Seamus 1 will be able to do his Terrorize. If he still has it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
spicy. But yeah, this was in service to not making him as much of a murder blender and more movement bullshittery. Because I love me some movement bullshittery.
I know I called this out as far as why Hello Love needing some kind of limit, because while you have to set up for it...
It keeps being a problem.
Yeah, it with as much offensive movement outside of this rework that Doug is doing, with as much offensive movement as the crew has, it takes some setup, but if you have it as your plan, I've seen, and we have a local to Nate, but plays against me a lot when he's out visiting, Seamus player who's very good and can consistently get about 3 activations of Seamus out, including his own activation every turn. Maybe not turn 1, but it's ridiculous whenever he does that. And there's just not a good way to stop it.
Okay. Going to the back of the card, slightly out of order to get the other nerf out of the way. The damage from Urban Legend is now once per activation. Again, just making sure you aren't stacking too much ping damage. Okay, the fun Buffy changes. Blah, blah, blah. Why am I so anxious? Probably I'm slightly too sober. Right, okay. First up, Blade Bouquet gets a heave trigger.
Oh, God! Wow!
Whoa. Okay.
hot.
I didn't know Seamus could yeet.
Is it called
Medieval
Huge Jackman?
That's his new title.
I mentally picture it not as him lifting the character, but effectively doing a take by the hand while stabbing the person.
Yeah, bleeding them, essentially.
But also, this would...
Knife to the chin.
Would this not also proc his Why Hello Love?
Yes.
If he just puts him right next to him. But the reason for this is we are also giving him a trigger on his take by the hand, calling it Firm Handshake. Once per turn, target takes an interact action ignoring engagement controlled by this model.
Ooh.
Oh.
Interesting.
Schemy little shit.
That kind of definitely helps out the fact that you're pushing the target before you're pushing Seamus.
Mm-hmm.
Because Take by the Hand thematically kind of feels weird, where it's I am taking your hand, but actually you're moving first.
I'm sure there's...
Of course.
It's to make sure that you don't body block with your own model, I think. I agree, it's weird that the opposing model moves first, but it's definitely a case of, I don't want them to hit shit. I mean, I don't want my ass to run into them when I want to push them back. Okay, those are the changes to Seamus 2. Not a ton, but hopefully a slight curb on the killiness and a buff to the shenaniganiness, quoting some British people. They don't have copyright over there, so I can say it all I want. All right, that is Sebastian Baker. What are we moving on to, Josh?
Suppose we go to the Seamus 1, the Redchapel Killer.
Okay, let's pull out this fucking paragraph.
Oh, God. What are you doing to my boy?
Okay, so a lot of issues. One, he's just an obnoxious assassin, and losing models without feeling like you can do anything about it really, really sucks. So we've curbed that. We've added some more scheme shit to it. But also, I feel like if anyone in Malifaux is going to be supernaturally scary, it is Seamus. I feel like one of the few times going against my rule of no, you can't, we are changing up how his terrifying is working, and the easiest way to do that is actually just not making it terrifying. He has a new ability called Boogeyman, which is literally just terrifying 12 plus Ruthless just together.
Nice.
Okay.
Spicy.
But since it's a different name, people can't ignore it anymore.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, it's immunity to Ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Also having Ruthless.
that's critical.
Yeah, I guess that also means that people can't turn off his Ruthless. I didn't think about that till just now. I mean, there's not a ton of stuff in the game that can do that, so...
Right now, the only things that aren't afraid of him are infiltrators.
I'm okay with that.
And Klaus.
And
He's an infiltrator.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still defense for its...
Yeah.
If you put effort into him, especially if you can kidnap him, he'll die. You just need to have a plan besides Ruthless. Okay, there's that. Feast of Fear is being changed to when this model kills an enemy model, it heals equal to the number of fear tokens on the enemy model. I don't need to put to a maximum of 3 anymore on it because we put that maximum in the upgrade.
Yay.
Okay.
It's like perfectly worded for the phrase Feast of Fear.
Yeah.
And there is some... I actually don't remember what the original one did.
After an enemy model fails a willpower duel caused by this model heals 2.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Also, like, with how other changes are on this model, he would be healing a shit ton.
Yeah. And this is another thing that I think in real life would need playtesting. And if that ended up being too easy to spam, the easy way to do it, to adjust it, I think would be when he heals, remove the fear tokens.
Well, this was after he kills a model.
This is after he kills
Yeah,
the
it's after
model.
he kills a model.
Oh, fair,
He eats
fair
the
enough.
fear,
Fair
yeah.
enough. You're right.
So
Never
yeah,
mind.
it's a little more restrictive because you actually have to score the kill.
Yeah.
But it can heal up to 3, which is really good.
Yeah, and I think that does lean more into the boogeyman. Like, he's fucking terrifying. As opposed to, hi, I have a big gun, and I'm actually terrifying the player.
Well, if we're making him less of an assassin, then I also think that, like, it definitely balances itself out.
Yeah.
Okay. A couple other changes. The change to Why Hello Love being a non-gun action, but once per activation, plus 2 wounds.
Ooh, hoo-hoo.
Spicy.
Okay.
Okay.
That
Okay.
balances out for the Feast of Fear not working on every willpower.
Yep. And here's the real spicy stuff. He's got better stuff to do. Which, if you don't know,
Can't interact.
Nate knows this. You can't interact.
Just like Zip.
Yep.
There's a reason for this, and one, being able to teleport all across the board extremely easy is... He's supposed to be fucking with the enemy, not fucking off and scheming.
He's got better things to do. No, it makes a lot of sense on Seamus, honestly. He wants to be fucking with characters, not doing stuff.
The balance to this is coming, though. So let's go and go to the back of his card.
I'm imagining we're going to get some scheme worker droppage.
Yes. First up, removing cause for celebration.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a paragraph, and we don't need it anymore because of all the other changes. Bag of tools. This action does not read like a bag of tools. I think a bag of tools should be able to do a bunch of different stuff. Maybe not hit as hard. I mean, like, this one doesn't hit too terribly hard, but bag of tools is being changed to target suffers 2 to 3 damage and gains this model's choice of either slow, injured 1, or distracted 1. We're just going to remove his triggers from that then, since hitting anything is just going to give you fun stuff, depending on what tools he's using. Okay. I want to do Terrorize first. Terrorize becomes Boo. That's just the name of it now. It's Boo with an exclamation point.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Ah!
Ah!
Okay, this reads as... Lost again. Stat 7 with the mask built in. Huh. Okay, target is moved up to its move away from this model, which is pretty much how Terrorize works. Mask. Actually, Terrorize is a push. This is a move, which is more useful. Mask. Here, kitty, kitty. Immediately, the target is moved towards this model instead.
Oh.
Oh.
Which could potentially proc Hello Love.
Which could potentially proc Hello Love, which is getting once. So you can't just bring a bunch of things in and hit all of them. But yes, if you want to bring someone in and give them slow or distracted or injured, that's how you do it. And then tome and draw out secrets. There it is.
There it is.
Okay.
There it is. Oh wait, what's that other thing on Boo that changed from Terrorize? There's no limit on who you can target. Why would that be a thing? Oh, because there's a burnout trigger.
Oh.
You can push the girls.
You can push the girls. Burnout, Victoria, is they suffer 2 damage, but they gain fast.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But also just being able to rearrange your own models suddenly makes him a lot more of a tech piece and gives him reason to interact with his crew.
And I think will help greatly replace him not being able to fuck off and go run schemes. The problem I've seen the rest of the crew have, and Josh, tell me if I'm off base here, is the rest of the crew is great at moving around the enemy, but they have a hard time kind of getting that extra speed to push through to get to the backfield. That's why Seamus is always the one.
Yeah, like Seamus kind of leaves his crew in the dust with his secret passaging, for sure. And I think like also with the here kitty kitty thing, like that can also enable you to like pull your own models if it's not enemy only anymore.
Or just end up behind your models and go, move, and also gain fast. Like, get effectively 4 actions a turn. One of them is mine telling you to leave. I think that has the potential to definitely.
And it kind of allows you to like spread out more, I think. If you're able to like pop out, boost something, and then give it fast, it can just spread off from the rest of the crew if it needs to scheme or whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we have one other action on this card, which I left for last.
On Terrorize, are we keeping mental trauma, or is that going away?
That is going away. Because we've got Burnout. Nothing technically wrong with having 2 schemes on the same suit, but it doesn't happen often. But thank you for the clarification. All right, the 50.50 Flintlock. What do we do about this thing? Everyone loves it or hates it, or is afraid of it or whatnot. We are making it we're not keeping out the one or nothing aspect of it. We're just making him have to earn it, and as well making sure that you are only obliterating one thing in turn. It is now a bonus action. Yep. It's his one bonus action. It's his one bonus action. This is a stat 4 with a mask built in. Add +1 to this duel for each fear token on the target to a max of +2.
There it is.
Okay.
So you juice someone down and then hit him with stat 7, potentially.
You gotta play with your food before you eat it.
Exactly, Josh. Okay. That was literally the first thing I thought of when I was redesigning this. Is like, he needs to toy with his prey before he kills it. Or his models can also toy with them, but no longer are you just like teleporting, blasting something off the board before it even gets to activate, and then
it puts a lot more interaction in the game. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, sometimes there are some just low defense targets you can just rely on a stat 4 to hit. But like, if you really want that good shot, that juicy shot, you gotta mess with people.
Okay. So we are changing around the triggers on this now. It's getting Trophy Hunter, more schemes.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yep, makes sense.
He is replacing Days with a new trigger. Actually, no, make that 16. Rams, Bloody Mess, which I'm surprised isn't in this game yet, but is a reference to Through the Breach. Enemy models within 3 inches of the target must pass a target number 12 willpower duel or gain distracted +1.
Bonus, not action, but bonus to that, it's willpower duel. So if they fail, they also gain a fear token.
Exactly. There's a couple instances of that in there where you can possibly pulse out some fear and distracted. I figured it would be on the master where it's only a bonus action. Last thing, the mask trigger that is built in. This is I've built up this incredible attack and I fuck it up. What do? Gains mask. Was he really there? After failing, this model may immediately take the secret passage action.
Oh.
I freaking love this, honestly.
That's cool.
It's amazing.
You whoopsied, you weren't there in the first place.
And if you just want to use it for teleportation, you just target something at stat 4 and go, oh, no, actually, I was doing secret passage the whole time. I lied about the gun.
That's where you get the red choker.
Yeah, of course. And then you hit and kill something and you're happy either way.
Yeah. This picture, this in my head is just like Seamus never admitting he misses.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, it's very on brand.
Well, you see, I meant to hit that because it scared them so much whenever it ricocheted off the wall.
I definitely picture, like, him firing the gun and missing, and the person going like, wait, did something happen?
Yeah.
What?
No one will believe you.
Enemy model immediately becomes a Skyrim guard. Who's there?
The one restriction on that, you still need the 7 to get secret passage off.
Sure, yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
free.
Still go for the target number and yada yada.
Okay. That is our change. Oh, the most change to Seamus, the biggest change, the one I left out. He now has a title, the Redchapel Killer.
Of course, yeah.
Yay.
Very
It's
important.
the easiest title I've had. I'm actually lying because him and Tony are just their M2E boxes, I think. Oh, no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so those are the 2 big named characters and their totem. Who are we moving on to, Josh?
Some of my favorite models in the entire game are the Rotten Bells. They're kind of iconic for Seamus, and that's kind of like what I think brings a lot of people to the Rezer side, for Seamus at least.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
There's only a few changes on the Rotten Bell, because I felt like they were relatively close to being where they need to be. First up, a much-needed bonus action, Creep Along. Staff 5.
Solid.
Outstanding.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Beautiful.
You
No notes.
still need the model ahead of them for them to creep along too, but now they can toddle along a little bit faster. We are getting rid of Unexpected Ferocity because I don't want them to be hitters. Instead, we are giving them Infect and Tear Off a Bite.
Ooh.
Pushes the zombie theme.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm surprised not more things have Tear Off a Bite.
Surprisingly chomp you.
Yeah, and honestly, again, their melee is a willpower, so if they hit you, which they're more likely to get their severe of 3 on because they're turning negatives to positives on
Mhm.
damage, but you're also failing willpower duel, so you're getting a fear token.
I would be afraid if a lady bit me.
Would you?
I would too, honestly.
Would you?
Scare roused, if you
they're-
will.
Yes, indeed.
If they're eating a piece of me and healing off of it, maybe.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's
I-
fair.
a coward?
No, don't. Let's move on. Those are the changes to the Rotten Bell.
She bites. I get scared because I didn't pay for this, and I don't know how much extra it's going to cost.
Oh, no.
We're a deeply serious podcast, and I apologize for running that outburst.
You know who we
yeah,
are,
that-
Doug.
Okay. Josh, pick the next one. And you can also pick the mystery ones if you want.
There are mystery boxes.
There are
Yeah,
mystery,
the mystery
boxes.
boxes.
It could be a boat.
It's not a boat.
Ah, damn it.
Not getting the ferryman, sorry.
I was just saying, there is a boat. There are 2 boats. There are 2 boats in this game Seamus could get.
There's like three boats. There's the infamous, right?
Oh,
Oh.
Ballyhoo Bucket gets the Redchapel.
yeah, why not? Makes sense to me.
or we give Seamus Big Hat.
I mean,
Just
Please
saying.
pick something, or otherwise they're going to keep vamping like this. We'll get
The Doxy, let's go.
Dead Doxy,
Doxy,
the other
dead
ladies.
Doxy.
Former ladies.
Actually, more changes, surprisingly enough.
Kind of shocking, because Dead Doxies are good, but...
Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking at dandies. My bad.
Oh, yeah.
whoops.
Whoops. Dead Doxies have a lot fewer changes. It'll literally just draw out secrets on seduction.
Sure, perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
No notes.
Okay.
For
Perfect.
sure.
Because Doxies are already really solid for 6 points. Yeah, draw out secrets as I lean into the theme.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like seduction is not used a whole ton. It probably used more now just to put out an extra fear token, but you have a reason to use it outside of the little bit.
Yeah,
it
I
does.
think that reinforces what you want to be doing now.
Yeah.
Does that work, Josh?
I think so. Yeah.
Cool.
They kind of just want to. If they're not scheming, then they're definitely putting out distracted on seduction.
Doubles down into the theme.
It also is like one of the bigger beaters in Seamus, and like we're already fine with where they're at.
What do we do next?
No slouches at 6.
Let's do Emmeline Bellarose, or right, Madame Sibel, the one that we all definitely use.
Hey, I use Sibel.
Okay.
I don't have Emily Belrose.
Madame Sybil, I am like fully shifting her to a much more support role. I don't see why she's supposed to be like kind of a beater in a crew that doesn't really need her to be there. I think she really needs to be an aura support piece. That's where I moved her to. Although there's there's only one extra aura. But anyways, this also will go and start with the sad thing. I am taking Scarlet Temptation away from all of the name models. It's going to stay on the minions. Well, it's another one of those things where, especially now that you're putting out fear tokens, you need to be less of a negative play experience. So the things that are reasonably killable are the ones that have it. Okay. Another thing, -1 move. I actually don't remember my reasoning for this.
If I recall, it was because you were focusing on her being a support model.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to be in the front, which also I really dig. Like, she's the madam of the house. She's telling people what to do. She's supporting them. She's not doing it all herself.
She's also built like a dump truck, so she probably doesn't need to move that fast.
She's too busy in the back doing squats.
Okay.
Sassy legs.
One of the few things that actually interacts with fear tokens outside of the blanket ability, we're going to gain the ability the Mind Killer. When a friendly model within 6 inches removes a fear token from any model, that friendly model gains shielded +1.
We've done Star Wars and Dune. Any more sci-fi references we're going to get into this keyword, Doug?
I honestly don't remember all the references. I think we got through most of them, though, so...
You don't
sorry.
consider JoJo sci-fi?
I guess.
I mean, no matter
More
what,
fantasy.
no matter what, we're getting a melange of different references, you might say.
There's aliens in JoJo. It's definitely sci-fi.
Yeah.
But I wanted some
Also
sort of
Jesus.
Jesus is also in JoJo's. That's
He's
correct.
a Joestar. He's the first Joestar. Not even fucking kidding.
This is canon.
This is canon.
Putting Jesus in a cannon.
If they fired Jesus out of a cannon instead of crucifying him, that'd be a very different symbology for the church.
Yep.
You can cut that joke if you want.
Keep it in.
Or leave
don't
it.
care.
Ben will like it.
Okay. Other changes. Right. That's all for the front of the card. -1 move. Remove Scarlet Temptation. Gain the Mind Killer. Again, didn't want to put too much defensive shit on there because of the addition of the fear tokens. So back of the card, we are changing the Bleeder Lash to a custom action. I could not come up with anything clever for the name of her new bespoke whip, so we're going to call it the Pleasure's Pain. I
think you're being unfair to yourself. That is clever.
Okay, we're adding a crow to the stat.
Okay.
This reads as if the target has half its maximum health or below, the action receives a positive to the duel. Target suffers 2/3 damage. If the target is a friendly Redchapel model, it instead heals 2.
Huh.
But
Nice.
That friendly whips.
Fun whips.
Fun whips.
We're going to go and take away Crit Strike, Sweeping Strike, and Maim. We'll gain the Infect trigger. So this is now... She can hit with it, but it's mostly whipping your...
With pulled here and there?
I don't have pulled here and there on there, so it stays. Okay. Yeah.
I think I still like that on the whip. It makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and especially with the heals, it's not enemy only, so it actually supports the we're giving her more friendly help and goes into the we're also adding
Get on in there.
friendly movement. Yeah.
Movement fuckery.
There's a whip. There's a way.
All right, so now we're going for our fantasy references.
Okay, we're let's see. We're moving Unrequited Love on Beckoning Call, and I think that literally is I needed some space on the back of the card. And that is because we're giving her projected voice with a stat 6.
Didn't she have that in second edition?
She did.
She did.
Yes. Bringing it back. I feel like you needed just a little bit more ranged threat on a very slow crew. Because for the most part, Seamus is pretty at the mercy of high-ranged crews.
Projected voice is a willpower attack, isn't it?
Yes, that too.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
And we'll slap an Infect trigger on there for fun.
For reasons.
Ew. Oh, the visual on that.
It's the spittle.
Spittle.
You could probably do like infectious words. That's like even more on theme.
Ah, yeah, we could. Is that literally the same thing? I think it's literally the same thing.
Target suffers 1 and gains poison.
Oh, yeah, we'll just do poison. Again, don't want to...
You don't... Yeah. I could see doing that, and then that... Because the difference with that would be Infect can have multiple per crow, versus if you just did Infectious Words, it's a damage and 1 poison.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't stack up. So, I could see that.
Yeah. My question was, I know you said you're removing just the trigger on Beckoning Call. Correct me if I'm wrong, cut this out if you want to. I thought you were removing Beckoning Call.
I was keeping that on just because it's a way to put out.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. I couldn't remember what you were doing.
He's removing Unrequited Love, specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we test this, because we will.
Absolutely.
We'll see whether or not she really needs it, especially with having Beckoning Call. There's a decent amount of movement fuckery in the rest of the keyword. I don't need it. All right, last thing, the most important thing, we are giving her a base to fit her dumpy ass. 40 millimeter base.
Ooh, base size change.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Honestly, though,
I dig it.
It helps with the auras, but also it's mostly like she looks like she's barely fitting on that thing. The lady needs her space.
She does... if you're using the regular Madame Sybil model, she does take most of 30 mil with her dumpy and her whip.
Okay, that's.
I'll have to give Emmeline Belrose some base bits to accommodate.
Yeah, spooky ghost or something. All right, Josh, what are we moving on to next? I'm on a roll.
Let's see about the other henchman, the Strange Lady.
Which one? There's 2 other henchmen now.
Oh,
Mystery box.
The mystery box. We'll do Strange Lady. That's what you said. I was just trying to be playful. Yeah, playful is the word. Strange Lady does not have a ton of... Actually, no, she has a decent amount of changes. Problem with Strange Lady is her and I feel like the Keepside Strangers don't feel too much like a Redchapel model. I think that was directly told me to that, so I'm definitely not the one who came up with the idea, but reading her, it seems a little odd, so we are going to have some fun with her and definitely make her more helpful in the Redchapel keyword. All right, Strange Lady, first up, +1 wound. We are, however, that is 2 sacrifice hard to kill.
Okay.
And the hard that is because the new ability, again, limit of 5 abilities on a card, with the exception of some masters. So I do have to shuffle things around a little bit, or cheat, like when I'm smashing 2 of them together for Seamus. But in this case, I didn't cheat, because I feel like the Allure of the Gorgon ability is worth her being slightly easier to kill. Allure of the Gorgon, when a friendly model within 6 causes an enemy model to move, it may move that model +1 inch.
Ooh.
There's a lot that goes into this that you gotta think about it for a while, but for the basis of it, like, if Seamus is engaged by a model and he uses his boo to push them away, they're moving their move, so they could just charge him back when they activate. Now they're going +1 inch, suddenly they're out of range. Lures are going +1 inch, take by the hands are going +1 inch. It's a lot of extra stuff in a crew that does a lot of movement.
Yeah.
People definitely had a problem with like Damien only getting 2 inches of movement, and I mean, 1 inch of movement seems fair.
And also, Molly too gets some use out of that, so it's not completely useless for that crew.
That works for Parade Route, yeah.
And last, we are literally copying, pasting Hildegard's Take by the Hand. You can pull it up and look at it now.
With Unrequited Love and Wicked Waltz. Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yep.
Wicked Waltz is nice.
Yeah. That is really nice.
And I love that Unrequited Love. It's such a thematic trigger.
Yeah, Unrequited Love, enemy only. Choose an enemy model in the target's line of sight. The chosen model gains distracted 1. Wicked Waltz, friendly minion only. The target may take a melee action. Nice.
Yeah.
That is a good version of Take by the Hand.
Yeah,
triggers
and
and such.
I just need something in there to
on a
allude to the
henchman that
fact-
can stone for those triggers, no less.
Yes.
Really want.
I needed something to allude to the fact that she is fucking hot.
I mean,
Ooh.
she's also
Yes.
like theoretically an avatar of the Gorgon. Like,
Even better.
Both are good.
Who doesn't like a reptile girl?
Dude.
Lusty Argonian. Okay. Josh, what are we doing next?
I need a different cover from that. Bet Noir.
Got him.
Hey!
Bet Noir.
Bam blam.
Okay. Right, alright. First up, we're removing Scarlet Temptation, like I said before. She is going to gain Black Beast, which is literally just her fucking name. And this just says this model may begin the game buried.
No
Cool.
notes. Great.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
It's super awkward to get her to bury in the first place.
Yeah, it feels like she always should have been able to do that.
Okay. We are changing the paired knives to a custom action called Flensing Knife. Really just look through the breach for this one. Because it's kind of like Skinning Knife, but not quite like Skinning Knife. Flensing Knife, stat 6. This model may remove a fear token from the target to gain a suit of its choice to the final duel total. Target suffers 2, 3, 4.
Hot.
Reliable triggers with the sacrifice of less reliable attacking.
I'm into it. Like,
Yep.
You can get up to, suddenly you're getting up to 4, 5, 6 with double crit
Actually,
strike.
yeah, a high ram just.
That brings a beater back to Seamus on a non-henchman.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But you're also taking away fear tokens for that, so there's a bit of a risk to it. Yay. Okay, Poison Fate gains 1 with the Night trigger. If you really need to fucking bury,
Oh,
you
the
can,
mask.
and you
Nice.
can't
Yeah.
charge someone,
Okay.
you can use that. And then we're
I
fixing...
feel like Poison Fate becomes more useful when you're also gaining fear tokens off of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also you can bury immediately after you get the poison fade out, so you're not just eating attacks to the face.
Rise Again. We are fixing... you can now only take it when you're buried.
Yay.
Hooray!
That was a weird thing to be able to do when you're just farting around in the back alleys of Malifaux. And also I noticed that it can be really hard to get out the corpses you need to actually come back. I realize there's a possibility of your own stuff dying, but you could seriously have her in limbo with no good place to come back. So what we're doing is that we are also including friendly ski markers as a point of spawning.
Ooh. That opens up some vectors.
Yep. And again, your Seamus, who can go literally everywhere, needs enemy models to be able to place those markers. So just a little bit of work to get it where you really want her to pop out, but more utility. All right, that's bet.
Easy. Like it.
What was that? What was that henchman that you mentioned?
Ah, okay, cool.
A mystery box!
The secret henchman.
Box! The secret henchman. So, I thought long and hard, who could we take in the game, add to this keyword, give him some fun stuff fleshed out and whatnot. And I started thinking about other, Predator-type characters. I initially thought about giving Midnight Stalker the Redchapel keyword, because that sounded funny as fuck. But I limited myself to 2 models. Actually, the more interesting one out there, I'll give you some thoughts. I was going to put... Oh, fuck, I forgot his name.
Give me a
Action
shape.
keyword.
The fucking guild guy.
Alan Reed?
Alan.
Nope.
Yeah, I think
The-
it was Alan.
It was not Alan.
It wasn't Bodysuit Man, was it?
No.
No.
The night
1 sec.
the network.
It was a henchman.
I can just look it up. I'm an idiot.
Grimwell?
Queeg.
Queeg,
Taggart.
yes.
Taggart fucking Queeg.
Creepy McFace.
Fuck that man.
He does look like a predator.
He looks like someone that would hang
He's a
out
man.
with Seamus.
He's a man that enjoys penial labor, penial slave labor. I don't think anything is beyond that man's capability of evil.
Yeah. That was actually an entire
Penial.
thought process of what if we include people that might be feeding him folks to kill. There was a bit there where I thought the bartender from King Honeypot would be a good Redchapel.
Oh.
It's Seamus can't kill her; she's already dead. And maybe there's just some people that they can't wait for brilliance to make them die. They need died now. Anyways, that is a long, long way to come right back around to say who is the most legendary predator besides Seamus, and we are going to give him Carver.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
my God.
Okay.
We will have to we'll have to remove the nightmare keyword, but I'm not entirely sure why he's a nightmare anyways.
I think it's just because he's a creepy monster.
Because he's spooky. Yeah.
It's
Like,
spooky.
definitely a woe. Fits fully
Yeah.
into there with a woe, but yeah, we're giving Seamus a very solid beater, and they're like, oh, it's Carver sucks. We are giving him a slight change that I think fixes it. Specifically, we are just going to copy Stock Prey from Zhang, the new versatile for the Ten Thunders. Stock Prey.
Strike.
Yep.
Look at what
Stat 6, TN11, target an enemy model, ignoring range. Move this model up to its move and inches towards the target. With sudden strike, this model may take a melee attack action.
That
Oh.
certainly helps a lot.
Yeah.
That's on the Cerberus. Okay, got it.
When we were talking about this, Doug and I had a brief conversation about why does everybody think Carver sucks? And looking at it, like, he's a stat 7. He has he's only a min 2, but that's really 3 because you have the crit strike, and he's a henchman, so you can make that a 4/4/6 damage. That's no slouch. What's the problem here?
He has to fucking get
He
there.
has to get there is the problem, which this keyword fixes immediately. And as a 10-stone beater, I know a lot of people really rate those on how many extra attacks can they get, and the only way he currently has, before Doug's change, to do that is the swift action, which means you're not getting
Crit
the
strikes.
crit strike, which means he is a min 2, which you're solidly going to hit with that stat 7, but it is a problem. But also, he's a stat 10 kind of beater that has to get there in 2 keywords that have other beaters that are more straightforward about it.
Yeah.
So when we were talking, I think making the change where he has another way to get a third attack and just putting him in a crew that doesn't have other monster beaters immediately makes him look better.
Yeah. I can see this already, honestly.
Does he get the new Feast on Fear thing that we gave Seamus?
I did change that. So yeah, sure. Like, looking at the front of his card, he doesn't have a ton of survivability. Terrifying 11 and...
I think the problem is if you
Feed on
change
Fear.
his feed on fear, how does that work in WoW if he's working on fear tokens?
That's
He can-
fair.
Fair. Yeah.
Whereas I think he can keep normal feed on fear.
Yeah.
You can keep the normal feet on Veer.
There's going to be plenty of failable power duels. Yeah,
Okay.
honestly,
that's
yeah, just
Carver.
the stock prey. Very thematic for that.
All right, what are we doing next? Getting close to the end. Got like 3 more?
Can I make a request?
4 more.
4 more.
Can we do White Rabbit Co?
Okay.
What did you do to my boys?
Okay.
Boys!
All right, you ready for this?
No, but go ahead.
Nothing.
Yes! My special boys, they're perfect in every way.
Perfect.
Yes, excellent, very good.
In
They're
my
so
notes,
cool.
in my notes,
I
it literally
fucking
just
love White Rabbit Co.
says perfect.
I love it in
question
Big Hat. I love those boys. I mean,
It's us.
it's
we
the boys.
We them boys.
We them boys.
mark. Okay. So we've got Keepside Strangers, Mourner, Dead, Dandies, and the other mystery, Steel.
How about the undead hunks themselves?
Dandy
With that
bands.
The right, the Dandies. I actually was I was like, Mortars?
The other alliterative D minion.
Dead Dandies. We're removing manipulative. They've got the fear tokens to kind of keep them alive. Don't need manipulative. Also, it's like you need someone to like. Sometimes you just need to burn an activation, and removing their defensive tech kind of sucks. So, right, removing manipulative. We're gaining the ability called bargaining. Once per turn, when this model targets an enemy model with an attack action, it may remove a fear token from the target to add +2 to the final duel total. Before you get too excited, he's stat 4
Fear
on all of his attacks now.
I mean, I can agree with Green Chi. I'm good with that.
You only do it once. Okay, there's bargaining, and now back to the card. Biting and still becomes stat 4 because they have a singular stat 6 in there. Take by the hand is now stat 4. Take by the hand gains my favorite.
Wait, they don't have take
They
by the
don't
hand.
have
That's
take by the
new.
hand.
Oh, gain take by the hand. Fuck. They gain
all right.
take by the hand.
That's stat 4.
That's
stat
stat 4.
That's stat 4.
I was so excited by the trigger I gave them that I forgot that they added take by the hand. Whoops. Right. Okay. My favorite trigger name in all the game that doesn't exist. Take by the hand gains a masked trigger called Jaunty Stroll. Take this action again.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Love it.
Oh, it's adorable.
That becomes
Jaunty
like a
Stroll.
decent chunk of movement for.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
for a 4-stone minion.
And the fun fact with that is because the bargaining is enemy only, you can use it to move your own guys, but you're taking it as stat 4. You don't get that possible stat 6, which I think is a
What's
a
the
good
target number on
blend
take
there.
by the hand?
I think it's 11.
Yeah, it's 11. So you need 7s for that to go off on a friendly. For a
Something
4-stone
really
model.
50.
It turns them suddenly into really good schemers.
Yep. Potentially get 2 of those off. Come along, friend. I like that.
Okay. We've got 3 left.
Oh.
Let's go.
Hmm.
We'll do the mystery one last.
Let's get the mourners in there because they are in a weird spot.
Okay.
They're a weird model. That is for sure.
I might have made them too. Yeah, we'll see. They're +1 cost.
7-stoner.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So Mourner +1 cost. Recent funeral is now. Enemy models treat corpse markers within 6 inches as concealing terrain.
Oh,
All right.
that's kind of scary, but definitely helps out with all the shooting that people do into Seamus too.
Yep.
Yep.
You still need to generate the corpses, which can be painful at times, but it's there.
We bring Zeke.
There's ways to do it. Yes. Okay.
Revs up a lot of corpses.
Yep. There's actually just 3 changes. The recent funeral change, and then I'm back to the card. The claws now gain dismember.
There it is. Hey, look,
Okay.
there's corpse markers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now you can generate your concealing terrain, but what if it's not in a place you want? Well, they also gain the dredge attack.
Oh,
Dredge up, sorry. Dredge up.
At a cost 7 model, is the sharp claws going up to stat 6?
We're keeping it at 5 because of dredge up.
Fair enough.
Like it's more of the utility. Attacking is okay there, and you can usually force through an attack when you really need a corpse marker.
having a
but
dredge
it
up.
is,
Especially in
being
a faction where you can just bring a corpse generator.
We're also remembering dredge up.
Here's Zeke. Here's your zombie. Go attack through it.
And plus dredge up will also make it easier to set up the positive flip on Feed on Grief.
Yeah.
And also, pyres exist in Reva.
And pyres.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
That was my definitely need to give something to Reva here as well. So
Okay.
I think that's worth the +1 cost.
Putting it all in the head, that makes sense.
Definitely helps out Reva 1 and moving pyres, where Reva 2 is the only one that really does that super well.
Yeah.
Okie doke. That is the change to mourners. Keepside strangers then. Yeah?
Keeps out strangers.
Keepside strangers. +2 wounds, +1 cost.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the stuff I've changed in here makes them better. We're removing hard to kill. Again, because I needed a slot for an ability. But also the +2 wounds will help them, as well as the fear tokens. We're going to gain the ability Stranger Things. Once per activation, enemy models damaged by this model gain a fear token. They are the only ones in keyword that don't have a willpower attack. So we fixed that.
Interesting. I never picked up on that, actually.
That's exactly why I thought the fear token generation worked. Gotta be able to have them do that, right? Yeah.
Obviously, this is a Seamus-centric fix, but is there something you would add to that to make it work with Molly as well? That is an ability that would 100% only work with Redchapel, really.
Well,
I guess they would. The crew would have the crew upgrade
Exactly.
because you have Redchapel models, so you could have Strange Lady,
Strange Lady also benefit from
Strangers. Okay, I'm back in. I'm locking
back
in.
in. Well, this is another one where it feels more tooled towards Molly, so let's...
Sure, yeah.
Yep.
Even then, it makes it an independent thing they can use in Molly.
I mean, this card discards all your entire hand.
True.
Keepside Strangers. What did I actually change here? Sorry. Okay, handful of snakes. We are removing unexpected ferocity and gaining, sadly was already spoiled, snake in your boot.
On a mask.
What's it do?
What does it do?
Literally put a snake in your opponent's boot.
Snake in your boot. Enemy models damaged by this action must pass a target number 10 willpower duel or gain distracted +1. So there actually is a willpower duel in this. I lied. All right, cool, right? Also changing suffocating sound because I don't fucking get why it works the way it does now. There's what all we could think of for a forced discard was executes, and
there's at least 2 memes I think too, but it's kind of hard to hit.
Okay, so yeah.
We're
not going to play this off of discarding. Sadly, you can't mirror Serene Silence anymore. I'm sorry, but Suffocating Sound now says, until the end phase, after an enemy model within range gains distracted, this model may instead have it gain poison +1.
Oh.
That pairs nicely with Strange Lady and her poison aura.
Yep. I put I sprinkled some infect in the keyword as well, so that can also play off the Strange Lady. But now, sometimes you don't need the distracted. You need a little extra poison. And the best part is that, like, if they activate with a Strange Lady, they gain distracted, and then they can gain another poison instead. Teehee. Okay.
Dude.
Teehee indeed.
Yes.
Teehee.
Leaves us, I believe, with just Doug. You ready to wow everybody with the way unexpected stolen minion?
Oh no.
Way unexpected stolen minion.
I want to say I think this is a fucking brilliant choice.
And this gives you what are the lore implications of this? Y'all are just gonna fucking love. I think you're all gonna love this. Okay, who are our stolen minions? They're lamplighters.
Yo.
Huh.
Yo, what? Yo.
I am picturing that these are like ancient unknown Malifaux beings. What if some of them aren't good?
Yeah, what if they turn off the lights?
Yes. So only 2 changes with that. One, shimmering lights is now once per turn. Or activation. Actually, yeah. Is it at turn or activation? I don't remember what that did. Sorry.
Can't hear you, Doug. You're off the mic.
Per action.
Oh yeah, I wasn't saying anything. Okay. So yeah, we'll do activation. I think would be good. Again, just don't dump too much on them, especially now that we have the fear tokens. But yeah, the possibly some evil versions of lamplighters hanging out with a guy that is all about presence and murder by lamplight. They would love him. And to facilitate this, especially Seamus 1, we are going to say that the lamps can now be blocking terrain. I believe they were designed before the bash action was created.
Changed. Yeah, where you can just move an impassable terrain marker.
Yeah. So now you can move their shit. Because
and then you can actually put physical lamps on your lamp markers. Which I know will make people happy.
Never mind, that was the entire purpose of that. But no, really, the idea of Seamus 1 being able to teleport to a lamp to stand under it menacingly is great.
Suddenly he just appears in the lamplight, just.
But our lit lamp's still dim.
Our lamp lit? What? Was that an actual?
Our lit lamp's still dim.
Oh, was that a thing?
Yeah, you can have a lamp that is both dim and lit at the same time. It's weird.
Okay, we'll fix that as a treat.
As a treat.
Yeah, they got a ton of shit on the back of their card. It would take you a while.
Yeah, the lit markers don't lose dim. What the fuck?
I mean, maybe it's a dim lit light. I don't know.
Dimly lit.
It's flickering.
Mood lighting.
It's for the ambiance.
Unnatural Glow is going to give you some fear tokens, and Light the Way can also give out fear tokens.
It also gives you healing in keyword.
Burning.
wording.
I think they are great for this.
Yeah,
for the Redchapel keyword.
Fascinating. It's a fascinating choice, and I
also think of how people would paint up an evil lamplighter.
Oh yeah.
I also love that they all have hats.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's actually the
Fit
reason.
right in.
I
White Rabbit Company's just like, yes, very good. More customers.
Our most exotic hats.
Okay. Yeah, that's it for the changes to the Redchapel keyword. So our man of the hour, Josh, did I help make them more fun and maybe too good? I don't fucking know. Probably a little on the good side.
I think we kept it at a decent level of balance, and if anything, it just we're pushing theme more and trying to take away from like Seamus just goes solos everything.
Yeah.
I think ultimately this ends up in an area where the weird like anti-bell curve that the crew sometimes has of we're either too much an NPE or we're too much an NPE to the pilot. I think that actually looks like a regular bell curve now. And in doing so, I still think the main thing that would be the question in terms of like real play testing is how much are fear tokens actually getting put out so you can use them? Is it too much? Is it too little? But there's no way to know that without testing it. And I think that would just be something to dial in if this was actually going to happen. But I really like this. I think, Doug, this might be your best rewrite so far.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, what am I talking about? Tony was the best and will always be the best. And
I was not going to take offense to that, even though I really wanted to.
Left it prom once again.
We're going to have a Seamus versus Tony match at some point.
Oh,
We need to play Doug Foe.
Doug Foe.
Doug Foe.
3 keywords in the game. That's all you get to play. What a fun game.
What a fun. It'll be fun. We'll add to it. Come on.
In that case, Doug, I request you rewrite Ivan's crew, but by that I mean only mess with Ivan 2's upgrades.
Okay. It'll be a real short episode.
Yeah. But that's okay. Now we have four crews in Doug Foe.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously let us know your thoughts, people that are listening. Any sort of feedback. Just discussion would be fun. I still really enjoy doing this. I think it's entertaining, at least a little bit. But I don't have specifically a keyword I'm going to be messing with next. I have an idea, but also I was just directly going to ask Nate, who am I allowed to mess with and buy you?
Literally anyone.
That's not an answer.
Other than Somer. I think they did a good job on Somer, but if you want to monkey, you know what? If there's a Bayou keyword that needs some monkeying, Ken.
Yeah.
Ken? Okay.
Ophelia needs some monkeying.
We'll put some
she's in a
JoJo's
weird
references
spot
in
right
there.
now, and the game does not support what she's trying to do, and it's a bit clunky.
Sounds
Don't
great.
give her Opperell, please. Doing everyone a favor.
Yeah, okay, we'll mess with Ken. Sounds great. Also, I think the one that interested me the most was also Frontier.
Frontier would be a good one.
Yeah.
I'm making that decision now. So
There's
either
a ton of opportunity in Frontier to mess with that.
They're not bad, but again, kind of clunky.
kind of
Yeah.
clunky.
And
We
in
don't have
similar fashion, a lot of the unnamed models just aren't up to snuff for what you're trying to do in the game.
Mhm.
Yeah, they have a few too many hoops to jump through, and you're hoping a lot of things to go right.
Okay. So any last just go quickly through thoughts. We already got Josh's thoughts. Thank you again, Josh. Let's go through the regular Joes. Nate, what do you think?
Yeah, I really love what you've done with this, especially that lamplighter curveball at the end is very and honestly both the curveballs, lamplighters and Carver, honestly are real standouts of like, oh yeah, those could fit in that crew and give it a little bit of a. There's something to Seamus where having like very normal looking kind of people-y zombies is cool and in theme, but also maybe having some more freaky monsters at this point because he's been in Malifaux for like 10 years, like in lore wise, something like that, or 8-ish years. Like he's got some monster friends at this point.
he was got a little lonely and decided to branch out and actually make some friends.
He's expanded his horizons of terror.
Okay. Roman gave like a 1-sentence review, but if there's anything else you want to say?
No, again, I think this is your best one yet. I'm looking forward to the next one. Dig it.
And Victoria, thank you for participating, even though you don't know a lot about it.
Barely. Yeah.
How do you feel about your new toxic ex-boyfriend?
I really, like, you talked through a lot of it while you were going through it, like, audibly around the house. So a lot of it was not, like, a surprise to me, but I do enjoy the more, like, theminess that a lot of this stuff has, although I really do think throwing the Midnight Stalker into this keyword would be hilarious.
Gotta have freaking Infamous first, goddammit.
But that's why, if you're touching him anyway, give him Infamous.
Yeah, make him Infamous Redchapel. Fine.
Redchapel. That's fine.
Yes,
God.
Infamous Redchapel. Give him an ability as like, I'm not with him, he just happens to always show up in the same place that Seamus does.
I'm not with
Make him the fucking tsundere of Malifaux.
He's just trying to keep up with how many kills Seamus can get.
It still only counts as one.
Yeah.
Well, shit, now I feel bad.
It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're good. We've ran for a pretty long time with this recording. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Nate.
Yeah.
Thank you, Roman.
Woo!
Thank you, Vickery.
Yay.
And thanks for being on, Josh. You did a great job.
Woohoo!
Appreciate the feedback, and I love the mustache.
Yes.
But that is all the time we have now, so as we always say, fun is always king. Enjoy the models that aren't being changed at all. And if I got your hopes up, I'm sorry.
Enjoy this thought experiment.
Enjoy this thought experiment. I'm sorry. All right.
No, take
Oh, no, we
notes,
say that
and then go
already.
take it to a
Hold
game.
Songs used in this production are Villainous Treachery and 5-Card Shuffle. All music is created by Kevin MacLeod and is licensed under Creative Commons.